The spokesperson for the United Nations Secretary-General Farhan Haq says that of Sri Lanka must ensure all segments of society are included in the decision-making process. Speaking exclusively to News First, Shami Razuldeen at the UN headquarters in New York, Farhan Haq stressed that this would be one of the key focus areas of the UNHRC team due to visit the island later this month. The UNHRC team will be visiting Sri Lanka as part of the US-sponsored resolution at the United Nations Human Rights Session in Geneva earlier this year.
Now, since the US-sponsored resolution was passed in March in Geneva, Mr. Haq, I want to know, do you see any progress as far as accountability and reconciliation is concerned here in Sri Lanka?
Well, we're certainly hopeful for that. What we're trying to do is see whether the government of Sri Lanka can both deal with the question of accountability sufficiently and make sure that all segments of society are included in the decision-making processes of Sri Lanka. So we've been hopeful for that, and we also believe, of course, that other bodies need to try to see whether there's sufficient accountability in what's happened in Sri Lanka in the past. As you know, the Secretary-General had an advisory panel that recommended further activity on behalf of accountability for the people of Sri Lanka. And the Human Rights Council did take up some of this, and we're hopeful that the UN's human rights bodies will continue to look into what can further be done to ensure appropriate accountability in Sri Lanka.
Is the United Nations satisfied the manner in which Sri Lanka has progressed and undertaken its responsibilities on reconciliation and accountability?
Well, any progress in reconciliation is to be welcome, and we certainly hope that they'll continue to do so. But much more needs to be done, particularly in terms of making sure that the Tamil community is included appropriately in Sri Lankan life. And we're hopeful that that will continue. The Secretary-General, as you know, did meet several years back with President Rajapaksa, and they agreed on several key steps forward for Sri Lankan society, and that included the idea of inclusiveness as well as of accountability. And we hope that the government will abide by its commitments on those regards.
On September 14th, the UNHRC team will be visiting Sri Lanka. Mr. Haq, I want to know what would be the focus area of this particular group in question?
Well, every year the special rapporteurs of the UN system, who are independent, by the way, of the Secretary-General, go to all countries to look at how the country's actual practice matches up with their commitments under the international human rights and humanitarian law treaties. And so that's what will be happening over this trip as well.
What would be the observations of the UNHRC during the UNHRC periodic review to be held later this year on Sri Lanka, Mr. Haq?
Well, the periodic review is something that all countries are supposed to go through, and this is a normal process. Every country gets a chance essentially to be reviewed by its peers, and we hope that through that process each country will make progress in terms of how it deals with human rights commitments.
In terms of Sri Lanka, what would be the reactions, observations of the UNHRC?
Well, those are still forthcoming. We'll leave it to them to evaluate the situation on the ground, see what needs to be done in terms of follow-up, and report back to the Human Council.
The Sri Lanka Muslim Congress High Command held a special meeting this evening regarding the party's stand on the Eastern Provincial Council. The meeting, which was presided by party leader Rauf Hakim, was attended by parliamentarians of the party chairman Bashir Segudawud, General Secretary Hassan Ali, SLMC members elected to the Eastern Provincial Council, and Maulavis. However, Vice of the SLMC, Dr. A.R.A. Hafiz, stated that the party did not reach a final decision regarding the council at the meeting.
A body has been discovered inside a vehicle on Havelock Road near Havelock Town in Colombo 5 a short while ago. Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana said that the body was discovered following a tip-off. The Bambalapitiya police have launched investigations into the discovery. In other local news, while the police are carrying out operations to nab drivers who drive under the influence of alcohol, a tragic incident of a mother and her daughter being run over by a bus driven by a drunk driver was reported from Jaila last evening. The accident occurred near the Jaila police station. The police stated that the driver of the bus did not possess a driving license.
The mother was accompanying her daughter to a tuition class when the bus hit them. The pair were attempting to cross the road from near the Jala police station located on the Colombo-Negombo road when they were run over. A mother and her daughter were crossing the road to go for a class. They were knocked down by the bus and the bus did not stop. The bus was stopped only after a car crossed its path. The mother and daughter were knocked down by a private bus plying from Jala to Fort. The police said that the bus driver was arrested.
He is not the driver, he is the assistant. He does not have a license and he was also driving under the influence of alcohol. We are conducting investigations to ascertain whether it was the driver or the owner who gave him the vehicle. We will file a case against the person who gave the vehicle.
Imara Christine, who was studying in the commerce stream at the Mary Immaculate Girls' School in Tudalla, was killed in the accident. Her mother, 42-year-old Minon Krishanti, also lost her life. They resided down Rajamawatha in Ekala.
Yesterday, the media spokesperson issued a statement stating that legal action will be taken against those who drive under the influence of alcohol. It was soon after he said that this mother and daughter fell victim to such an incident.
86-year-old woman murdered in the Meetenwala police division in Mawatagama. A group that broke into the house and strangled the woman and stolen gold jewelry. 3 suspects remanded. Are they the real murderers? When will the investigations conclude?
And up next is a look at the newspaper cartoon of the day.
Successful United National Party candidates at the recent provincial council poll point out that grassroots level activists had contributed to increasing the party's vote bank in several districts.
Having suffered defeat at all elections from 1994 except for 2 elections, the United National Party was able to increase its vote base in several districts at the recent provincial council polls. Candidates who secured victory at the provincial council elections believe that support received from grassroots level activists during the election period was key to their victory.
එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂ නියෝජනායක සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මෙතුමා පොළොන්නරුව දිස්ත්‍රික්කයට
Deputy leader of the United National Party Sajith Premadasa held 45 meetings no matter what time of the day. The people in Polonnaruwa participated in election activities with great enthusiasm. As a result, we received 20,000 more votes than the last time.
එදාට වඩා ඡන්ද 20000කින් අපි වැඩියෙන් අරන් තියෙනවා.
I think he addressed more than 50 meetings in this district during the election period. We are very happy about the number of votes we secured with his assistance.
මේ අභියෝග හමුවේ එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ ජයග්‍රහණය වෙනුවෙන් අපේ පක්ෂයේ ජයග්‍රහණය වෙනුවෙන්
Deputy leader Sajith Premadasa was committed towards the party and its candidates in order to make the party victorious. We would like to extend our gratitude to him.
ඒ වෙනුවෙන් එතුමාට අපගේ විශේෂ ස්තුතිය මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
Local government politicians point out that victory could be achieved once again by campaigning at the grassroots level. However, these politicians believe that the party cannot secure victory through a working committee comprising of the current UMP leader and his associates.
විශේෂයෙන්ම මම පළාත් පාලන නියෝජිතයෙක් හැටියට රට පුරා ඉන්න පළාත් පාලන නියෝජිතයන්ගෙන් ඉල්ලීමක් කරනවා විශේෂයෙන්.
As a local government representative, I urge other local government representatives across the country to at least now shed their fear, because the only thing there is to lose is the local government position given to us by the people. We have lost many things since 1994. We in the United National Party have lost our pride. The only thing left to lose is our positions. Therefore, leave this aside and step onto the streets without fear to remove the party leadership and the working committee in order to make the party victorious once again. Implement a program at least now to make the party victorious. I am urging all local government representatives and everyone in the country to join us.
The 148th birth anniversary of the founder of the Mahabodhi Society, Srimat Anagarika Dharmapala, will be held on the 17th of this month. A media briefing in this regard was held at the Sri Lanka Mahabodhi Society headquarters today.
As we do each year, a garland will be placed on the statue of Anagarika Dharmapala opposite the Colombo Municipal Council. Afterwards, a dana will be presented to over 50 members of the Mahasangha. Those preparations are in place. The chairman of the Mahabodhi Society, Venerable Banagala Thera, has left for Sanchi in India to organize an event concurrent to this event and is at the Sandhi Mahabodhi Center. The other important aspect is that our chief prelate has given us permission to place the foundation stone for the International Buddhist University on the day marking the 148th anniversary of Anagarika Dharmapala.
Still in news from the local sphere, the Platform for Freedom convened a special session yesterday.
There
is National Human Rights Plan. There is a plan for the LLRC. How do we make the people understand this? How do we create awareness amongst the people? Everyone says that this is an international plan. Political rights, economic rights, as well as the issues in society should be spoken of. The country's human rights issues are in the international agenda. The question is it there in the national agenda? If both are not looked at together, you cannot protect human rights in Sri Lanka. It's a threat to democracy.
The Colombo District Court vacated the enjoining order preventing the office bearers of the National Lawyers Association appointed by the United National Party Working Committee from taking up office. The order was given when the case was taken up before Colombo District Judge Dhammika Ganepola this morning. The court rejected a request to extend the enjoining order issued on the United National Party Working Committee. The case will be taken up again on the 7th of November.
Another 53 people have been arrested for attempting to illegally travel to Australia. Navy spokesperson Commander Kosala Varnakulasuriya said that the arrests were made in the seas north of Trincomalee at dawn today. He said that the group which was brought to Trincomalee was later handed over to the CID. The Navy spokesperson went on to state that over 2,000 people have been arrested so far this year while attempting to illegally travel to Australia.